So after losing the national championship, there's a whole new season in front of us next year. Um, so let's move accordingly. Going to increase, I think, our head coach's ability to train. Might actually do offense. Now let's do this. Do your job is very strong. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. Defense gains +5 tackling, pursuit when facing QB runs and scrambles. No. Yeah, this is just so strong. Next year we come back with a vengeance for sure. For our OC, I think I might just do training because we've been recruiting perfectly fine. Although we didn't get an offensive lineman, and we did need an offensive lineman, but still. And then for my defensive coordinator, we can do your job as well, and then just have really high defensive IQ. That is kind of what I'm thinking about doing. Army of Scouts is also kind of attractive if we wanted to have a really good defensive team. In the last game, the reason why we lost is really because the offense couldn't get going. I thought the defense did pretty well. If we are limiting a team to 20 points, I'd say it's a win. So I don't think that was necessarily the problem. We'll go ahead and retain our defensive coach. We'll actually use a coach lock so he can't leave. So we'll retain our head coach. I'm thinking here about our OC. Our OC is good. I don't know why I would actually make a change here. 2023, it's 2025. So I think there's actually a penalty if we were to try to do this. Yeah. No, we don't need to make any changes. But I was curious. And then we'll retain our DC, obviously. So the office looks the same. We have this insane new quarterback that should be coming into our team next year. So Cardenas, who became our star kicker and punter, wants to leave, but he can definitely make All-American since he already did. And then Kevin Richmond also wants to leave, but he'll be third on our depth chart. He didn't make All-American. Denzel Atskin is leaving, so it actually makes our decision to start Jacob pretty easy, which is nice. Let's look at our receivers. So receiver is getting a little bare. Cameron Richmond can definitely be a All-American. So we'll make that promise to him. He will be our number one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think you should go. We're going to get third round. I think it's time to go. No need to be hitting the books when we got Julius Jacobs, Brandon Fisher, Raphael Pollard all on the depth chart there. We don't have a number 5, but I'm being a little greedy, asking him to stay, I think. The third round is pretty good for a sophomore. Okay, so we got a few complainers. Our tight end is considering leaving. He would be our first string. He'll definitely get 15 targets unless he gets injured. At offensive line, and these guys who want 60%, that should be pretty easy for them to get. The sixth stringer, maybe not. And certainly the 7th stringer is going to have a hard time getting into the lineup. I'm looking at strength and pass blocking, but I also want to be balanced. I think Cole Romero is who we'll keep just for the depth, because there is a significant drop off after we get past 78. Really, before we hit 75, there's a drop. Well, kicker, no change to that kicker. Defensive line. Zion Tan, we fought so much for you. So the cool thing is Joshi, Brown, Angel Brown, Ewing, these are going to be the main guys we look at and call next season. I think, let's look at linebacker first. Our linebackers look very bad. So we'll probably be playing nickel, which means 40% should not be difficult to cover. And yeah, we want to bring back Trey Meeks. That is a yikes. Our cornerbacks looking healthy. Yeah, so our cornerbacks look a lot better. I definitely want you if we're going to be playing nickel. And then at safety, we have so much depth. So let's advance. Let's just look at our own team. I don't really care about other people. Ryder Graham is a first-round pick. Emmanuel Brady's a first-round pick. Denzel Atson is a second-round pick. Cameron Richmond is a third-round pick, like he thought. And then, surprised that Malik Townsend went in the 7th round, but hey, you got drafted. So we get another receiver. I want to target linebackers. So we want a new filter, which removes committed. Uh, 75 overalls is what we're looking for here. So definitely want to get another linebacker. A cornerback would be nice. A D lineman probably shouldn't be looking at, but I will. Offensive line would also be nice. I think the rest we're good at. Who's our running back? Let me save this filter as transfers. Who is our running back? Jackson Murphy, okay, and Griffin French, who both did really well, as well as Adrian Curtis. So let's look at transfers again. Wouldn't mind just taking a look at what kind of talent is out there, though. In terms of points ahead, got an 84 lineman. Definitely want to take a look at you. A 7 lineman. Yes, please. Here's a linebacker. Kind of rearm pretty easily with transfers and have great teams this way, especially with Ohio State. Another linebacker. All right. We have the quarterback that we're going to start in Jacob Burke. Got the running back we're going to start. Got depth at receiver. Tight end is like it's always been. even at O-line, we're probably solid. We got the kicker we want. Our defensive line looks pretty nice. You know, these will probably all get up to 80. Linebacker is rocky. Cornerback is all right, but could be better. I think we just... Oops. I need to target these players now. Let's sort on overall. And start handing out some verbal encouragement to come and play for OSU. Who's his tight end? Oh, a tight end that just hasn't committed yet. All right, we'll advance. We won't pay anything. We really don't need additional depth, and also like things just start kind of getting on easy mode if we start paying for everyone. So let's just advance and see what happens. We get another running back, another kicker, a linebacker, a tight end that we wanted from the beginning, another linebacker, and an offensive lineman. Good haul. That's 2 linebackers. So we'll resolve debt. We'll cover maintenance. So 33 mil. Let's see, if I spend to 12, then I got a better chance of just getting the best talent in. But academics will give me better boosters, so that's what I'm going to go for. And then I'll just max out. All right, I guess I'll need to max out. We'll do max available for marketing with the hopes of soon having everything maxed out. Advance. So this conference realignment is like supposed to happen. And Notre Dame would actually come into the Big Ten. And so would Clemson, which is definitely interesting. And Cincinnati. It would make the Big Ten much more difficult. Just let this happen, just for the challenge. TCU is also going to come in. See, that is kind of interesting. Let's take a look at this. So the Big Ten Conference would realign where we're part of the Southeast with Clemson, Cincinnati, and Maryland. USC, TCU, UCLA, Illinois, Notre Dame, Michigan, Penn State, Michigan State. I think this is a pretty interesting change, even if it's a little unrealistic that it would restructure it twice. It will make our season more difficult. So I think we allow this to happen. Our out-of-conference schedule here is definitely favoring some easier games just because of how difficult our schedules became with the restructure. So we'll just save and advance. Advance the year. So not back-to-back national champions, but with Jacob at quarterback, I think we've got a good chance for the next at least 3 or maybe 2 years, because he's a junior, I think, to always be in the playoffs. Last thing we're going to look at is gains. Let's finally get a look at how good Jacob's going to be this season. Yeah, I mean, an 86 junior, that's pretty good. Our running backs look really good at depth. Do we have a power back here? Jackson Murphy will be our power back. Our receivers are crazy. We got 5 deep. Tight end is even looking, well, Offensive linemen look stacked. Here's our first 7. It's going to be hard to keep promises, though, when there's players that are better. Marin Cardenas, unfortunately, just probably means that everyone else is sitting on the bench. And we do have other good kickers. We have 5 over 80 defensive linemen and 1 that could easily become over 80. And we actually have 3 linebackers who are over 80. 1 that could easily go over 80. This is Fernando Stone. Cornerbacks, an easy 6 maybe cornerbacks that could be over 80. And then safety, we got 4 just over 80 right now. So we look really strong. We already know we're going to go into the nickel. So from the 3-4 to the nickel. I will try to run bear as well and avoid the 3-4 package this season. So I don't really know, like with these stats, where we're going to land. But impact players, Jacobs, Fisher. Fisher's like the obvious one, in my opinion. Pollard also is coming on pretty big in the easier games because he was getting the start there. And then Burke, obviously, excited to see his next 2 years and hoping to be able to retain him too before he goes to the draft, probably after this season. Our safeties are stealing the spotlight. Too bad there's not a formation that uses more of them. Might have even been a good idea to convert one of them to cornerback in retrospect. All right, so we'll advance and stop there.